What's up, everybody? This is your boy Quaz, coming at you yet again with another edition of the Quazemoto Show. With me, tonight's special guest, is my boy Jay. Jay, what's going on, my man?
Yo, Q-Dog, what's happening, bro?
Chilling. Chilling.
Man, I'm working off to that Christmas dinner high, man.
That
Bread pudding.
I hear. I see that Christmas turkey's kicking in.
Yeah, it is, bro. I took my nap and I'm ready to go. I took my 2-day nap.
It'll be a lively show tonight, I can tell.
Yeah, man, got a lot on my mind.
Cool. So, what you been up to, Jay?
Man, it's been movie week for me, bro. It's been hitting the movies.
Uh-huh.
Of course, I went to go see Star Wars, and that was pretty good. Yeah, I liked it.
Yeah, I saw that. Star Wars was good. What'd you think of it?
Yeah, I think.
Like the whole. Well, see, look, I'm glad that you and I can discuss it, because D, he never sees movies. So I'm like, why am I talking to you? Why am I talking movies to you? So now I saw Star Wars. You saw Star Wars. Let's discuss it.
All right. Oh, it was pretty good. I like the stormtroopers. They brought back the stormtroopers and the essence of Star Wars. But I was kind of sad to see. On spoiler alert here, I was sad to see Han Solo passed away.
Passed away. He got killed by his own blood.
They were. The scary part is that he wanted to be rubbed out a long time ago.
Yeah.
Like contractual negotiations, he was bound to stay on, man.
Right. I mean, he might have a cameo in the second and third one. He might come back as a ghost. We saw that happen before. But didn't you kind of see that coming? They kind of set it up where someone big was going to die. Be it Han, be it Chewbacca, be it Princess Leia or General Leia, as she's referred to in this movie. I like the movie Star Wars, The Force Awakens. I love the special effects. I love the new characters as well as the old characters. I love the Millennium Falcon, showing off its moves that it still got. But it was still the thing that, kind of like, put a wet towel on it. It was the same storyline. You got the Empire, you got the rebels, they were fighting. You got, the old storylines, Someone dies, climactic, like Obi-Wan died in Star Wars, and that was Han Solo dying. And then you have like a revenge killing, revenge motivation. And then, you had another Death Star on this ice planet that the rebels go and blow up,
Yeah.
I like the newness. It was crisp. The movie was very crisp, but it kind of bored me a little bit with the same, a tragic hero gets killed and let's go get revenge and blow up the Death Star again,
Yeah.
I kind of wanted to see a new twist to it, I was kind of disappointed with the same storyline.
Yeah, I hear you, man. It's like the same old stuff, but just a different, put new flavor on it.
The different characters and whatnot.
What is it? They don't call it the Empire anymore. It's like Force One or something. What the hell was it? One Force or
Force Awakens. I don't know.
Yeah, they don't call it the Empire. It's something else.
They're called I don't know. They're called the Republicans. They're called the Republicans.
One Republic.
Yeah. But I did like the ending, because everyone was wondering, when is Luke gonna show up? When's Luke gonna show up? Right? So I like the ending. It left a little cliffhanger. I did like that aspect. A little cliffhanger where the girl, she goes to the outer reaches to find Luke, and when she does, she offers him his lightsaber. And Luke's looking like Obi-Wan Kenobi with the beard and everything. I like that. I like to show that he aged a little bit. He's a little bit of a recluse, just like Obi-Wan was. So part 2, so I'm actually looking forward to seeing. Luke comes back. I'm pretty sure he's going to train the girl to be a Jedi. You know, that's not a big, you know, everyone can figure that out, right?
Yeah, I think so. I think so, yeah.
What did you think of the girl? I thought she was hot.
She was pretty good looking, yeah. No, British. She's British. The new dude's British. Finn. And Finn. I couldn't think of a better name than Finn.
Yeah, I mean, come up. Like the, you know.
Or
looks like they were like, all right, so we got this character he's a stormtrooper who has like a, you know, change of heart, but we need to give him a name. You know, it's kind of like I think like the way like the guy that he runs the rescues, you know, like they came up with Finn. I think that's how like you know, the directors came up with just call him Finn. You know, he's Stormtrooper FN. Just call him Finn. I think they just wrote that in the movie. Like that's how they actually came up with his name, Finn.
Yeah. I don't know. I would say keep your name. I'll name myself.
Yeah, Finn, Rey, you know, Han, Leia. Very 3-letter names. All of them are like 3. And Ren. You know, 3-letter names. All of them are like 3-letter names. Luke, it stretches a little bit. It has, you know, 4 letters.
Yeah.
You know? Oh, I don't think they'll be ready for Luke. That's 4 letters. But, you know, I can understand from, like, you know, a story mode and whatnot. You want the name to be memorable, easy to remember, memorable and whatnot. You know, but Rey, Finn, Luke, Han, Leia, you know, and then BB-8 and whatnot, you know.
Where'd he come from?
I don't know. Just another fucking droid, man. What the fuck, you know?
Yeah.
They're like,
well, everyone's got the little handout.
Yeah. I mean, I guess R2D2 was getting too old. You know, both C-3PO and R2D2, they had very limited roles in this new movie. You know, whereas like BB-8 just took over, and he's like, you know, fuck y'all, I'm the new badass droid. You guys are old and decrepit.
Yeah, what the hell is up with that, man?
Yeah.
Like,
you know?
R2D2's second cousin twice removed or whatever.
You know, hey, you know what the big spoiler is, right? I don't want to give it away, but I kind of read the books. The big spoiler is, you know, it was rumored that R2D2, they were like gay lovers, right? So like BB-8's like their offspring, you know? However you want to, you know, think of that.
How's that work?
C-3PO and R2D2, they finally had their Brokeback moment, and you know, BB-8's the result.
They adopt them, man. If they're gay lovers, they can't have kids.
You know, and in like part 2, C-3PO is gonna break it to R2, like, R2, that's your son. C-3PO's be like, I'm your father, BB-8. What?
But you know what, man? I could have written a bit of script.
Yeah.
I ain't bragging. I could. All those little one-liners, like they were running when the Empire was coming flying down, shooting at them, and they were running, and she's like, "Don't hold my hand."
Yeah.
And like,
it was kind of panned, kind of expected, but you know, being a Star Wars fan, I like the movie. You know, overall, I like the movie. I'll leave it at that. You know, I'm not going to crush it too much. You know, if you look at it from like, you know, like my son's view, he's like 10. He loved it. Like, it's a great movie. I loved it. It's good stuff. So, you know, and you know, keep in mind, it's a Disney movie now, you know. So Disney, they're catering to the young audience, the kids, because they're the ones that are going to bug the parents to buy all the toy craps of, you know, everything Star Wars, you know. So, and the movie's cleaning up, man. They're cleaning up. They're already, you know, past 1 billion in, you know, movie sales, and they haven't even really released in China yet. You know, they're releasing in China. They're gonna crush. You know, they're gonna go 2 billion. You know.
They spend money over there too.
Oh yeah, man. Yeah, China's got expendable money now, man. They're not poor anymore.
Man, you know what's disappointing? I was kind of hoping for a Star Wars holiday special, like you know, they have '78.
Yeah, I remember that. I was so excited to see that. They're like, because like, you know, my dad, he was too cheap to take us to the movies. So like, I didn't see any Star Wars till like they came out on VHS, you know, if you remember those.
Yeah. I was on a couple of those the other day.
Yeah. So I was like, fuck, you know, I didn't even get to see any of the Star Wars till they came out on VHS. But I was so jacked to see, like, they did have, I remember the Christmas special, because like they hosted like something, and it was like they had R2D2, C3PO, and Luke Skywalker hosting that shit. And I was all geeked up to watch it.
Yeah.
You know, if I can't see the movie, I'm at least watch this, you know. But like, you know, I think like thinking back, it was just like promo for, you know, I think Empire Strikes Back or Return of the Jedi or whatever year that came out. You know, but you know the storylines for episodes 7, 8, and 9, right?
No. Well, yeah. Luke doesn't take the lightsaber. He said he's done fighting or something like that.
Well, yeah, I mean, that's either here nor there. I mean, I don't want to give too much away, but do you want me to tell you, or do you want me to leave it as a surprise for when you watch?
No, it's dispensable. Yeah. Don't tell me.
All right. I'll leave it at that. Well, you know, like Ren, you know, the bad guy in episode 7. He's Han and Leia's son, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
He's the one who killed Han.
Yeah, he's the one that he killed his dad.
Yeah.
He killed his dad. So there will be more of that, Ren and, you know, the girl and Luke and Leia. There's a bigger story there. I'll just leave it at that. There's a bigger story there.
No. All right.
Yeah.
Yep. Anything with Leia is a Jedi. She was,
yeah.
Luke's,
yeah.
Yeah, but she never did anything with her character.
Yeah. Well, I mean, like I said, there is a tie-in to all of that. Where in episode 7 you'll see more of that. You'll see Leia become more aware of the Force.
Man, she's still making money after 30 years.
Hey, you know.
Man, did you know what she was saying
30
about?
years? Yeah, man. She's like, thank God someone hired me.
Yeah.
Him, her, and Mark Hamill. I mean, think about it. Harrison Ford is like the only one that really did well out of the cast, right?
Yeah, that's right.
You know, because Mark Hamill, he was like, I don't want to be a big-time actor. I want to do Broadway stuff. That's a bad move, dude. That's a bad career move. I would have milked the Luke character for all I had. Han did.
Yeah.
You know, he milked, Harrison Ford, he milked the Han Solo character. He went off to Indiana Jones and a big-ass career, you know, where Mark and Carrie Fisher, they really didn't do nothing with their characters.
I know.
Or with their careers, you know, off of that big success.
You're right, bro. You're right. I knew how to play it. Harrison Ford knew how to play it.
Yeah, he knew his meal ticket. He's like, I'm going to milk this action hero crap for all it's worth. But you know what? The funny thing is Mark Hamill, he like admitted, he like back in the mid 90s, he admitted it. He's like, I wish I would have taken more roles that were along the line of like the Luke character, you know, hero roles. You know, because he had offers for a lot of other movies after Star Wars, but he just turned them down.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, he did. He was like, I want to be a real actor. I want to do Broadway stuff, you know. So he went to New York City, and you know, doing Broadway shit there, you know. Like, all right. Yeah, because you remember, he didn't make a lot of movies other than Star Wars. Name another movie Mark Hamill was in other than Star Wars.
I think it was in some sort of semi-porn movie. Some soft porn.
Soft porn? Oh, shit. I didn't know that.
Don't take it as gospel now, but
now wait a minute. Did you come upon this one night watching Skinamax? Like, oh shit, that's Mark Hamill.
Something like that, yeah. Something like that.
I didn't know his career was that crappy, man. I know he did a episode of The Simpsons. That's about it. That's the only thing I can name. He did an episode on The Simpsons. That's about it. What other movies have you watched this holiday season? Concussion. You like it?
Yeah, you know, I mean, I don't know the whole story.
That's that Will Smith movie about the NFL players getting hit in the head.
Well, but the story of the doctor, too.
Yeah. Will Smith plays the doctor, right?
Yeah. What's that?
Will Smith, he plays the doctor?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, they like Pittsburgh people. They didn't, like Pittsburgh people ran them out of town. That's what they kind of, I don't know what the story was now. Maybe it's true, but I don't know.
Wasn't it from what I've read about it, Will Smith's character, he's this doctor that does all this study, real life doctor. You know, he's this real life brain doctor who studies CTE. You know, I think that's the term for brain, concussion. Multiple brain concussions to the head, right, to the brain. So he's studying this. He gives his report to the NFL, but the NFL pretty much ignores him and then tries to smear his character, saying, he doesn't know what he's doing. His reports are false and whatnot. Is that correct?
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
In fact, yeah.
So let's.
But it's a good movie. I don't know. Portland. I grew up during that time in that area. And I tell you what,
80s and 90s.
The city should have done more for Mike Webster.
Oh, hell yeah, man. Because he ended up fucked up in the head and homeless when he died.
He put that city on the map. Those guys.
Yeah.
Those guys put that city, and they made a lot of money for a lot of people.
Well, let me. I agree with that part, Jay. But let me tell you who should be responsible, and they're not. NFL. NFL needs to be responsible. They need to have a post-career medical plan. Because, like, once a player retires from the NFL, they're cut off. No medical, no nothing, no insurance, no nothing to cover them, no care for them. And that's what all these advocates for the retired NFL players are fighting for. NFL has billions and billions of dollars made off the blood, sweat, and head injuries off these NFL players, yet they're so greedy, they don't want to give any of it to the retired players who got the NFL where it is today. You know?
Yeah, I know. I agree with you.
You know, the advocates, Chris Nowinski, Warren Moon, who's a big face for it, they don't just want money. The settlement that the NFL had wasn't enough. The $1 billion settlement, that's not enough. They want a plan, a medical plan for the NFL retirees once they're done playing, And that's what the NFL doesn't want, because they know that's going to cost a lot more than the billions that they settled for, They just don't want to take care of their players after the fact. They'll take care of them during, make sure they get on that field and play ball for the TV, but after they're done playing, NFL could care less about them.
They tell them they love them. They love them. We love you guys, and the minute they don't make money for them, it's
yeah, that's exactly it. Once these players are done making money for them, NFL they don't want anything to do with them, and that's what Junior Seau, Mike Webster, and Dave Duerson had a hard time comprehending. They're like, I gave years to the NFL, and what do I get in return? These three guys were so fucked up in the head, they took their own lives. Dave Duerson, Junior Seau,
Yeah.
All those years of getting hit in the head left them so fucked up, in so much pain, that they're like, I'd rather kill myself than live like this. That's the issue.
I know.
That's the issue.
I agree.
And the NFL doesn't want to face it. You know.
They should do. They weren't making the money back in the day either.
Mm-hmm.
And that our doctors will you charge the colleges also and the high school teams too.
Yeah.
So that's what I mean, you know, it's. I see the demise of football, to be honest with you. I do. If everyone goes sees that movie, there's already decline in Pittsburgh. A lot of the schools are, if you can believe this, they're getting rid of the football programs.
Really?
There's a lack of interest.
Wow, lack of interest. Wow, in Pittsburgh.
Yeah, in Pittsburgh.
Steel City.
Pittsburgh.
Wow. Well, I mean, I pose to you the same question I pose to everyone else when the issue comes up. If you had a son and he was like, "Hey, Dad, I want to go play football," in this day and age, knowing what we know about football and head injuries, what would you say to your son?
I'd say no.
There you go.
Yeah, they won't play any sports.
That's why there's the lack of interest. You know, where NFL can ignore the issue now, but 10, 15, 20 years from now, what's happening right now is going to catch up to the NFL.
Exactly.
And NFL
people from Europe play.
Yeah. I mean, we're gonna see the result on the field 10, 20 years from now, where the lack of interest is going to show, and the NFL is not going to be almighty anymore.
Yeah.
You know, it's gonna become an afterthought. You know, much like baseball. Baseball's heyday was in the 50s, 60s, 70s. In the 80s, it started waning off just because the game got boring, right? Every great empire rises, but sure enough, every great empire falls. NFL, they're looking at their fall. It's staring them in their face, and it scares the shit out of them right now.
Yeah. And over here in St. Louis, no one goes to their games. They're going to move that team.
Oh, yeah. There's going to be 3 teams in LA next year. They're all going to be playing in the same stadium. I mean, think about it. You have Raiders, Chargers, and the Rams all going to be playing in LA next year. Crazy.
Yeah.
Keep San Diego. Keep the Chargers in San Diego. They belong there. The Chargers are San Diego. The Raiders are Oakland. Put the Rams in LA. You know? They're the prodigal son that'll return back to LA. The Rams belong in LA. You know? That's the way I see it.
Yeah.
You know, they had a good run in St. Louis. They had the greatest show on turf and all that. But, it's a dead horse now. They need to go back to LA.
Yeah.
You know?
But, I look for sports. You're the fastest growing sporters in high schools. I think it's trap shooting or bowling.
Oh, yeah?
Bowling, yeah.
Bowling?
Non-contact. They can play those sports. If I had kids, they could play those sports.
Uh-huh.
But just sport, but nothing contact. Or nothing physical. The hell with that. I screwed up my knee back when I was 19. It's never been the same since, bro. Never been the same since.
Yeah, I hear you. You know, if my kid was wanting to play a sport, I would steer him towards baseball. Long career, more money. There you go. You know?
Yeah, that's even dangerous. If you're a pitcher.
Oh, yeah. You know? I mean, the risk is there in any sport. Any sport. You know? Hell, you can drop a bowling ball on your foot. That's dangerous. You know?
Yeah. Well.
But, 50,000 people aren't going to come watch a dude bowl. Let's be honest.
I know. Well, so you know what? When that stuff went down at Penn State, that's what someone was doing. They were saying we should just turn it into a research school, and that's what a lot of people said. Well, football does bring in a ton of money for the school.
Yeah, I mean, Penn State, it was an agricultural school back in the day. You know, before football got popular within the country and then within the school. You know, once Penn State's fielded a football team, it became known as Penn State University, home of the Nittany Lions. It was an agricultural school. You know?
Yeah.
There were They were studying farming and cows and all that shit before football took off. You know,
Yeah.
a lot of these
Yeah.
schools were, before football came in, and and then they became an
Yeah.
official football school. Yeah,
Yeah. Well,
but
that turned into a research school, and I don't know, make up to 50 grand somewhere else.
yeah, good luck.
You can't win tuition anymore. That's for sure.
A lot of schools rely on football for their income.
And then, holy cow, what's going to happen?
Think about it. If Penn State was to shut down its football program, think about what would happen.
Yeah, I hear you.
It wouldn't be the same school.
Yeah.
No,
I know. I know.
If Ohio State or USC or University of Texas, God forbid they shut down its football program.
Yeah, how about that? Huh?
You think you would have the same recruiting class that they have today that they would have without a football team? No, they wouldn't. The enrollment of students would drop drastically.
Oh, I see what you mean.
Part of enticing students to enroll at any particular school is say, hey, look at our football team. Look at our football stadium. This is what happens every Saturday. You have almost 100,000 fans show up at the stadium going crazy. That's part of the lure.
I hear you. Who knows? It's going to be tough for a while, that's for sure.
Yeah. I mean, all I can say to NFL, enjoy it now, and college football, enjoy it now.
Yeah.
You got a meal ticket right now. Enjoy it because it's not going to last.
You said
Yeah.
it.
Anyways, moving right along. New Year's Eve is coming up, and we got 2 college football games. We got Michigan State going against Alabama, and we got Clemson against Oklahoma. Who do you got? Who do you like?
Well, I like Michigan State.
Oh, wait, hold on a second. They're showing cheerleaders on the TV. I just got to look at that real quick.
Yeah, they're going outside a garage now.
Yeah, you can go. Yeah, sorry. Cheerleaders are gone. I always have to pause and take a moment when they show cheerleaders on TV. Always fun. All right. So, first game, Alabama, Michigan State, which I think is the better game of the two.
Yeah. So,
close, the two programs are kind of similar because D'Antoni, he's a Saban disciple. He used to work for Saban before he took the Michigan State job. And programs are fairly similar. Right now, I give Alabama the edge. Though it's going to be a good game.
So do I, unfortunately, because I want Michigan State to win. But
yeah,
I think Alabama will. They got the big running back.
Yeah. So, I think in the third and fourth quarter, Derrick Henry is just going to be too much for that. The defense is going to be worn down on him, and he's just going to keep feeding him, and it's going to it'll be close in the first half for sure, but middle third quarter is going to start opening up. They're just going to keep feeding Henry. He's just going to keep scoring, and that's what they've done. That's what Alabama has done for most of the season. I would say game 5, 6, 7, 8 and on. That was their game plan. Give it to Henry, wear down the defense. That'll be it.
Yeah. I think so.
Because that O-line is fierce on Alabama. They beat you up. Henry beats you up.
Yeah. You said it. Like I said, I hope Michigan State wins, but I think Alabama will just wear them down.
Yeah.
Towards the end.
So then you have Alabama advancing to the championship game against.
Yeah.
Who do you got? Who do you got? I'll let you go first. Who do you got?
I think Oklahoma.
You think Oklahoma?
Oklahoma and they playing?
I'm gonna go with Clemson.
Clemson. is it already? Yeah.
Here's the reason why. I saw a piece on ESPN on the head coach, Dabo Swinney, right? Before I saw this little piece on him, I thought he was, a pompous jerk, right? Another, blowhard coach who likes to yell and scream at his players all the time, yell and scream and post-game interviews and whatnot, right? Didn't really care for the guy. But when I watched this piece, I learned a little about him. I learned that, he came up from humble beginnings, that, him and his mother were homeless for many years. Even while he was going to Alabama, his mother lived in the dorm with him. That tells you the character of a person, right? When you go through experiences like that, that tells you a character of a person. Now, there's a saying, a football team takes on the personality of its coach, of its head coach. And if Clemson has any character from its coach, I think Clemson's the better team and they will persevere. Just because of the head coach and what he's teaching, preaching, and coaching to his team, I think they'll be more prepared than Oklahoma.
Well, that's a good point. That's a good point. Well, Stoops is from Youngstown, Ohio, and that's no playpen.
Mm-hmm.
So he's pretty tough too. So
okay.
I like that story. I do. I didn't know that about Dabo Swinney.
Yeah, YouTube it. Dabo Swinney ESPN interview, and it's pretty good. So then you got Clemson and Alabama, and you got Oklahoma and Alabama. Who you got winning? Oklahoma, Alabama.
Yeah, probably Alabama.
Yeah.
Well, let me might as well go with Alabama.
Well,
too much Nick Henry again.
I just like to see Nick Saban lose because he is so funny when he loses, when he's upset. Like his head's going to explode, right? I just like last year when Ohio State beat them. Oh, the look on Nick Saban's face was priceless. So I just like to see Nick Saban lose. I'll get him in the championship game, but I have him losing to Clemson. And my money is that Nick Saban's head will explode. It'll literally go boom at the end of the game. Oh, man. And, but the rumor mill got Nick Saban leaving Alabama. If not this offseason, he's being enticed. And right now, the relationship between Saban and the powers that be at Alabama is not the best it could be. You're talking about Les Miles and LSU not getting along? Nick Saban's fed up with the Alabama heads. It's simmering. It's simmering right now. It's simmering, If I was Alabama, I would do everything they can to keep Nick Saban in place. But if you're a school like USC that just throws money at Nick Saban, what's going to stop Nick Saban from going to USC? Remember, he teased everyone in Texas a couple years ago saying, I might take the Texas job. He said that.
I remember that, yeah.
He's like, right now we're talking. And he flat out said, I might take the Texas job. That got all the Alabama people scared shitless. They threw a boatload of money at him to keep him there. I mean, that's a great, career tactic, like when you and I, we got job offers and we took it to our bosses. Heck, here, I got a job offer. What are you going to do? I mean, of course, our bosses did nothing. They're like, I dare you to take the job.
We won't throw you a party.
Yeah. Maybe we'll get you a, go away cake, right? But Nick Saban, he played his cards right, and he re-upped, got a boatload of money, but he might just do that again. And this time with the shaky relationship, Nick Saban just might take the USC job. Like, fuck you, Alabama. I'm going to USC. Money talks. And, plus, Saban is getting tired. Because, Tuscaloosa, it's kind of like that redneck, everyone knows everyone kind of type of town, right? And, everyone's got an opinion on Nick Saban in Alabama. And he's getting tired of that small town atmosphere where everyone's coming up to him saying, you know, hey, I think you should play the third string quarterback. And Nick Saban's like, really? And what experience do you have in this matter? Right? You know? So he might just go to La La Land, you know? He'd be king there, you know?
Yeah.
If he gets USC winning again, he would trump anything Pete Carroll, Mike Garrett, you know, Pat Hayden, any of those, O.J. Simpson, all of those guys did. If he gets them multiple championships.
You see that 30 for 30 special on the Trojan years?
Yeah, Trojan War. Yeah. It was good.
Yeah.
It was good. I liked it.
It is good.
Yeah.
Man, I went out to the Rose Bowl when Penn State played them.
You went to the Rose Bowl? When did Penn State go to the Rose Bowl? They haven't been to the Rose Bowl in years.
Well, it was back, I don't know what it was, but it was back their ways.
Penn State and USC?
Yeah.
Was Pete Carroll
Yes,
coaching?
Yeah.
Really? Was that like after Reggie Bush and all that mess? Or before?
Yeah, it wasn't Matt Leinart. It was the guy that plays for the Jets now.
Sanchez,
that's him.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe I can buy that. Sanchez and USC against Paterno and Penn State in the Rose Bowl.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to look that one up. Because I remember one year it was Paterno. They went down to the Citrus Bowl to play the Gators. Urban Meyer and the Gators. And you and me were like, yeah, we got to go to that game. It'd be awesome.
Yeah. I know. They lost that one.
Yeah. I think that wasn't that like his last bowl game? Because like after that, that's when shit hit the fan after that year, right?
I forget.
Yeah. I think that was accurate because that was 2009 when that Citrus Bowl happened, and then 2010 you had all that mess with Sandusky, and it was lights out after that for Sandusky, Paterno, and the guys. 2010 is when it all happened, right? Or was it later?
I don't know.
I think it was 2010. Because you and I were still at the same place, and we were talking about it as it happened.
That was Citrus Bowl 2009 was Georgia versus Michigan State.
No, that was later with Jadeveon Clowney and everything. When he had that big hit on the Michigan State quarterback. That was later.
No, Michigan. The Michigan. He hit that hit on the Michigan.
Yeah. I mean, it wasn't 2009. That was like 2011, I would say. Because like Jadeveon Clowney, he's only like 2 years in. This is like his second year in the NFL. Yeah, that was much later. It wasn't 2009. That was later. But anyways, that's either here nor there.
Right. Whatever.
All right. So you got Alabama winning it all. I got Clemson winning it all. It's going to be fun to watch. I'll say that. I can't wait for New Year's Eve.
Yeah, it would be. It's going to be 2011 Outback Bowl. That's it.
Outback Bowl, yeah. 2000. That sounds about right. Yeah. So,
right.
what are your plans for New Year's Eve? You're going to hunker down, watch the games?
Yeah. I got to pass a certification exam, so I got to study for that stuff.
Okay.
Yeah, damn it.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I ain't gonna do squat. That's what I'm gonna do.
I got what time are the games? Are they coming like they're gonna start like evening, right? First game is like at I want to say 5 p.m. The second game is 8 p.m. That sounds about right?
I think so.
Yeah, because the wife, she has plans for the family to go out. There's like you remember National Harbor, right? By DC.
Yeah.
There's like a New Year celebration at National Harbor. You know, everyone gets together, kind of like New Year's Eve. In New York City, they do like a countdown and everything at National Harbor. So she wants to go out and do that with the kids. I'm just like, oh, I guess I have to DVR the second game. Alabama, Michigan State's the second game. I know that they're on at 8 p.m. So I have to DVR that.
4 p.m. Yeah, that's it. 4 p.m. and 8 p.m. There you go.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. So I'll definitely catch it on the DVR, but still should be exciting to watch, no doubt.
Should be. Yeah, you're right.
All right.
Should be.
Jay,
all right.
Seeing that it's New Year's Eve coming up and the year's almost over, can you believe it? It's already going to be 2016.
Man, I can't believe it.
Time fucking flies, dude. I just remember, like, where did the 2000s go? We're already at 2016.
I know.
I barely remember 2009, 2010, 2011. It just went zoop. You know, I'm like, what the fuck, man? So,
I know.
2015. Let's wrap up the show with year in review. We had a lot of ups, a lot of downs, a lot of good stuff happening, a lot of bad stuff happening. What's your most memorable things from 2016? It can be both personally or whatever, you know. Of course, you know, the biggest things that stick out to me was the Freddie Gray incident in Baltimore. That issue was big, not just for America and a political, racial hotbed issue, but even for the world, to see that America still has this big racial problem. You know?
Yeah.
The shootings in Paris, you know, the terrorist attacks in Paris, and, you know, even like, you know, remember, we forget the first Paris attacks, because remember, like, that magazine, that Charlie magazine, they had a terrorist attack there where some killers went up and started shooting at that magazine office. This was like in February, March, somewhere, right? And then you had the most recent ones in November, the Paris attacks, and then you had San Bernardino. Not a good year for Muslims, man. Not a good, because we are getting a bad light shining on us right now. And I just want to keep saying, not all Muslims are terrorists. No, we're not that. It's like saying all white people are members of the Ku Klux Klan. No, it's not that. You know? But you can't help but overcome the stereotype, right? People see me walking down the street. What do they immediately think? Terrorist. You know? Best sports highlight. What's your best sports highlight of the year?
Sports highlight. I think Michigan State winning the game against Michigan.
I'll go back further.
And
I'll say the Super Bowl. Patriots beating Seahawks. That was a great game. Great game. Troy Butler. Come on. Malcolm Butler pulling it off at the last second with that amazing interception. Great game from beginning to end. Great game. Beginning to end. Great game. You know? And great finish.
Yeah.
And then the whole Deflategate debacle. Right? Now, one point I got to make, Jay. If the NFL was so, you know, so, what's the right word? Thorough in their investigation of Deflategate, would you not agree that they need to take the equal thoroughness with this new Peyton Manning issue?
Oh, man, I tell you what, I'm glad you brought that up.
We need to. The NFL needs to investigate it, should they not? Or are they going to wipe this under the rug?
What is the story with him now?
Supposedly, here's the story. Al Jazeera America, you know, the Al Jazeera network, Al Jazeera News, they have Al Jazeera America that does reporting on American stories. They do, you know, political, national, local, sports. They do everything. So last week, there was a report on Al Jazeera that had identified a doctor that confirmed that Peyton Manning, through his wife, ordered steroids, HGH, human growth hormones, which is steroids, right?
Yeah.
Peyton Manning contacted this doctor And he said, look, I don't want bad press. Order it through my wife. And so the doctor says, okay, no problem. And they mailed it the day they showed the receipt, and like the order receipt, sending it off to Peyton Manning's wife at the address and everything. Peyton Manning denies it. Now, what the kicker is, this doctor later recants his story, saying, no, I lied, I made it up, it never happened. But the story's out there now, right?
Yeah.
Peyton Manning denies it. Both the Broncos and Colts support him, saying, "No, he would never do this. Never, I don't." And this all happened when he had that neck injury, right? A couple years ago, when he had that neck injury for the Colts, and he sat out that whole year, and then the Colts cut him, and then he went off to the Broncos, right? That's when it happened. That's when it happened. Supposedly, that's when he ordered these steroids. So now the big issue is, did Peyton Manning actually do this? He's denying it. The doctor was recanting his story. So it looks like there should be no story, right?
Right.
But the NFL, if they're to be fair with everyone, with every issue, they need to investigate this, should they not? Or should they simply believe Peyton Manning saying, I don't know what this quack doctor's talking about, he's lying? That's the issue.
Why would he say that if he's lying? Yeah, why would he, I don't know.
Well, think about it. You're Peyton Manning. Think about this, Jay. You're Peyton Manning, right? And then some doctor comes out and says this. What's your response?
Say, hell no.
Well, that's what he's saying. But the issue, but it's out there now. It's out there for public consumption. The NFL, in all its great wisdom and all its fairness, just like they did for Tom Brady, Adrian Peterson, Ray Rice, and every other case that came before them that caused an issue with one of its players, they need to be fair and thorough, like they were with Deflategate, and investigate. What happened?
The dude already said, though, that he made it up.
Right.
The doctor.
Right. But the big thing is, it's out there now. And there was this receipt. You can't make up a receipt. Maybe the receipt that, Peyton Manning's wife, she purchased these HGHs to be delivered to their home. You can't make up a receipt, an inventory of your stock, right?
Wow.
Especially with steroids. Any good doctor, you keep a tight inventory on all your medications and who they go to. Maybe the doctor felt pressure from who not? Maybe Peyton Manning in his camp or the NFL in their camp, they knew that this story was coming out. They get to the doctor, put pressure on him. You need to recant. So who knows what's going on?
There's any element of truth to it. I tell you, the world's coming to an end. He's the last bastion of honesty.
A good lawyer friend of mine, he told me this once, and I always remembered it. He goes, whenever a person tells you something and you can sense bullshit, there's always part truth in it. Whenever someone is bullshitting you, there's always half truth in it.
Yeah.
And that's coming from a lawyer. And he's been practicing law for many years. So he knows a bullshit. Yeah. So when that story came out, I remember what my lawyer friend told me. With any story, there's some truth in it and there's some bullshit in it. So if there's some truth in it, we have a smoking gun now. We got to find out what happened.
So there's like an old lady used to say from my hometown, says there's always a little bit of truth in a rumor.
Exactly. Now, as far as the NFL is concerned, one of its active players is being accused of taking steroids. As the NFL, in their due diligence, they have to investigate. They have to.
I don't know.
They just can't. I mean, if you're Roger Goodell, what are you going to do? Call Peyton Manning and say, hey, Peyton, what's going on here? Oh, nothing, Roger. It's nothing, Roger. It's nothing. It's all bullshit, Roger. Okay, we'll take you for your word, Peyton. No. Can you imagine the backlash? Even with the NFL doing nothing, can you imagine the backlash? It'd be worse than this would be worse than the Ray Rice issue. Because look how thoroughly they investigated Tom Brady and the Patriots organization for Deflategate.
They said they did. I don't know. They should have. I don't know, bro. Well,
Yeah.
no, I don't know what about it, but there's some truth to it. That'd be a shame.
There's some truth to it. I think there is.
A big shame, yeah.
I think there's some truth there. Where where there's a little bit of smoke, go find the fire.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
Call it what it is. You can say Al Jazeera, that that's a crackhead network, and the doctor, he's a crackhead and whatnot. But Al Jazeera, any news organization would not investigate this unless there was something substantial there.
I don't know, bro. I don't know what to say.
Damn.
That's a tough business. So he should retire. That's what he should do before he gets hurt.
Man, he's gonna be starting in the playoffs. That's what he's gonna do.
When he's pushing 40, he should retire.
Yeah, I mean the Broncos, they're pretty much done with him. After this season, they're gonna cut loose of him. They're gonna go with Brock Osweiler as their starter for next year. So this is Peyton's. If he makes an appearance in the playoffs, it might be his swan song. One more Peyton Manning game, and then he's off to the sunset. If any team picks him up next year, that's the. If you're an NFL GM, would you pick up Peyton Manning? I think with the added negative press, the steroid accusation, no one's gonna touch him. Number one, he's done. He's old. Can't do it anymore. Number two, you got this negative dark cloud coming with you when you bring Peyton Manning to your team.
No, you don't. No.
If you're a GM, say you're GM of the Redskins. You're GM. You're GM of the Steelers. And you have Peyton Manning available. You just got done talking to him. And he's like, Jay, I'm available. Sign me. What do?
We got Michael Vick playing for us, so we can't talk.
No. Come on. I'm throwing a what if at you, Jay. You're a GM of the Pittsburgh Steelers. You need a quarterback to back up Roethlisberger. Peyton Manning says, I'll be that guy. Just sign me. If I was GM, I'll tell you. If I was GM, sorry, Peyton, can't do it. You just got too much heat on you right now. Can't do it.
No, I don't think so.
You'd sign him?
Yeah, I would sign him.
Oh. Number one, you're not going to get a lot of return from him. Even if Roethlisberger goes down and Peyton has to go in, you're not going to get much return out of him. Number two,
he's Peyton Manning, remember?
Oh man, he's Peyton Manning today. He's not Peyton Manning from 7 years ago. You're not getting Peyton Manning 7 years ago, even 3 years ago. You're not getting that Peyton Manning. You're getting the Peyton Manning whose last appearance, he was throwing 4 ducks to the other team.
I saw that, yeah. Well, yeah, I don't know.
So
I think he should retire. I think he should.
Then you as a GM need to tell him that. Peyton, I can't bring you on my team. My best advice, you retire, buddy. I would tell him. Yeah. I would tell him. Hang it up. Hang it up, buddy. You had some good years. You had some great years. Just hang it up, buddy.
Yeah, so he would,
go get a broadcasting job. You were made for TV. Go do a broadcasting job for CBS, Fox, whatnot. You're going to kill it in there. But as far as helping my team, it's not going to happen.
I hear you. Well, I suppose so. I don't know.
Too much heat there, man. Too much heat.
There's no dark cloud, though, with Peyton Manning. He's so good as gold.
Now there is. Watch. Look, come February, March, Jay, March, when Peyton gets cut loose from the Broncos, and he's shopping. He will shop around his services. Not one team's going to pick him up. And he's going to be forced to retire.
All right. We'll
Listen, man. When you have capable quarterbacks that are free agents right now, that are younger, better, stronger, faster, and you have guys coming out of the draft, the GMs, they just look at Peyton and they see that last game he played in. It's not good. And they're like, I don't think he can do it for me on this team, even as a backup. Can't do it for me. I mean, a team like the Jets not the Jets, the Bills, who might say, yeah, he could be a possible starter. Maybe even the Raiders, yeah, he could be a possible starter. Texans, yeah, he could be a possible starter. They're not even going to whiff on him. They're like, no, thank you. Not going to happen.
All right, well.
And look,
yeah,
and think about it this way. There's a trade deadline by mid-October for NFL teams. Don't you think the Broncos, in all their wisdom, they'll be like, can't we shop him around? Houston desperately needs a quarterback. Don't you think Houston, if the Broncos called him up and say, hey, O'Brien, I got Peyton Manning, you want him? What do you think O'Brien said? Hell no. I'll take my chances with Mallet, with Whedon. He took Whedon. Brandon Whedon's playing for the Houston Texans. Peyton Manning's on a backup role right now.
Yeah.
Brandon Whedon's starting and Peyton Manning's sitting. That tells you a lot.
Yeah.
So.
I hear you. Well, the end of a great career, that's for sure.
I say retire with some of your, playing dignity intact, and, end it off on a high note. If he gets one playoff win, great. Gets him past the wild card into the semifinals, great. Great ending to a great career, right? That's it.
Yes.
Who said this? I heard this on the TV one day. The great ones never know when to quit. Joe Montana, Kobe Bryant, Peyton Manning, Brett Favre. The great ones don't know when to quit because they think they can do it forever. And there's truth in that. There's truth in that. They don't know. Yeah. Brett Favre thought he could play forever. Kobe Bryant still thinks he can put up 50 any night. That's not the case.
No, it wasn't.
And I don't doubt for 1 second Peyton Manning thinks I can play this game at a high and efficient level. Because that's how he's programmed to think. But, time catches up with everyone, man. You know that, I know that. Time catches up with everyone.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah. I know. It's a shame.
Yeah.
It catches all of us.
Yeah. Anyways, Jay, my man, great show, as always. Good having you sit in on the show. I'm getting a lot of positive feedback saying, when you're going to have Jay on the show? I love him. He's funny. Bring him on again. So I'm like, got to have Jay on the show,
Cool, bro.
Yeah.
My pleasure, my man.
Yeah.
My pleasure.
Thank you, bro. And listen, you have yourself a great New Year's. I'll catch you in 2016, and we'll do it again next week.
Sounds good, bro.
All right. All right. Happy early New Year's, bro.
Yeah.
Everyone listening.
Happy New Year.
Yeah. Happy New Year, everybody. As Jay said, be safe. Don't get too crazy on New Year's Eve. This is Quaz from my boy Jay. This is the Quazemoto Show. Please keep your emails coming. QuazemotoShow@gmail.com. Find us on YouTube. Find us on Tumblr, Twitter, Facebook. We're everywhere. Find us, listen to us. Peace.